In this section, you will be taking a regular formula and rewriting it in terms of one variable instead of the usual 2 or 3 variables. This also allows you to be able to find maximums or minimums for a particular problem. Let's take a look at problem number 1. A rectangle has a perimeter of 20 feet. We want to find a function that models the area in terms of one side x. So if I take a look at my rectangle, I have 2 different side lengths. I'm going to call one x and the other y, or any variable you want to use. If I look at the information they gave me, they told me that I have a perimeter of 20 feet. I know that the perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So my first equation is that 2x plus 2y is equal to 20. We want to find a function that models the area in terms of one side x. So if I look at the area, I have the area as x times y. So I want to figure out how can I replace the y in the area formula with x's. Well, since I have my perimeter formula, I can go ahead and solve my perimeter formula for y and substitute that in. To do that, I'm going to subtract the 2x from both sides, which leaves me with 2y equals 20 minus 2x. Divide both sides by 2. And that gives me that my y is equal to 20 divided by 2 is 10. Negative 2x divided by 2 is negative x. I can now plug 10 minus x into my area formula for y. And so I now have the area formula is equal to x times 10 minus x. And I've rewritten my area in terms of x. Same idea for number 2. Number 2 says, at the same time, 2 runners start at point 0. The first heads north at 6 meters per second, while the second heads east at 8 meters per second. We want to find the distance d between the 2 runners t seconds later. So here's my starting point, if you want to think of it as your origin. My first runner is heading north. So there's north. And if they're traveling at 6 meters per second for t seconds, then they're going to travel 6t meters. My second runner is going to head east at 8 meters per second. If I'm traveling at 8 meters per second for t seconds, then I'm going to travel 8t meters. We want to find the distance in between the two. So if I have a north line and an east line, I have a right triangle. If I have a right triangle, then I have the Pythagorean theorem. So I can go ahead and take my a squared, 6t squared, plus my b squared, 8t squared, is equal to d squared. That'll give me a 36t squared plus 64t squared is equal to d squared. And if I have 36 and 64, that's going to give me 100t squareds is equal to d squared. So then I can take the square root of both sides. And since I'm talking about distance, I don't worry about the negative. My distance is going to be equal to the square root of 100 is 10. The square root of t squared is t. So my distance would be 10t. My distance is now in terms of seconds.